DIY woodworker here. Today I'm starting to build my large cabinet, 53-inch cabinet. And what I've already done off camera that I didn't show was me cutting the 4x8 sheet of plywood down to my 53 to 24-inch dimensions that I needed. You've seen plywood cut, so there's no need of me showing you that. But I'm getting ready now to put my tongues and grooves into the side board. So I've got it set up right now with my tongue bit in my router. I'm going to take my two side boards and cut the tongue in them, and that's what I'm going to show you now. Now, you may have noticed a couple of things. One, I've got my feather guard on here, it's called. It pushes down, that's to keep the board down against the router tabletop. And two, you may have noticed pushing as hard as I was pushing, my router didn't move at all. You may have noticed on the earlier cabinets I was having to put a foot down underneath there to keep that thing from moving because the inexpensive, i.e. cheap casters I had would not keep this thing from moving. Well, I ordered some good quality, a little more expensive casters from Rocker and put them on, and they lock and they hold this cabinet. It don't move anywhere, so I'm very pleased with that. So, lesson learned. If you're trying to do some routing and you don't want your cabinet moving, go ahead and invest in some good locking wheel casters to keep your router from moving. Good that did. I didn't have a vacuum on. Wonder why all that was blowing back on me. Okay, I've got the tongue set in this wood. Now what I have to do is cut my grooves, and to do that I'll have to change my bits out and all. So what I want to do is pause the filming and change these bits out and change my guard down to here, set up for cutting the grooves in my wood, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm back. I've got my router set up. I had to change the bit out from the groove bit to the tongue bit to the groove bit. And I'm going to cut the grooves in these now that I need top and bottom on each side, both pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and crank it up. It's going to get a little loud, but it won't take me a minute to do this. So here we go. Help me plug in my router. I want it to run. something that I need. I'll go ahead and do the other board now. Couldn't figure out a while ago why I was getting so much blowback when I was cutting my tongues. My wife, God bless her, she was out here helping me. She hooked up my vacuum to the power outlet, but she failed to turn the switch on at the vacuum. I'm just used to turning this one switch on, it turns on the vacuum and the machine and the router, and away she goes. You see, I didn't have any blowback there, simply because the vacuum was doing its job. So here we go again, one more time. This cabinet much taller, I don't know that I can cut this wood. Okay, that's done. Grooves in both these pieces of wood. So now the next thing I need to do is get the glue out and glue these side pieces into my face frame. You notice how I had moved my guard from here to here, which keeps that board pressed against the fence and helps hold the board up too. It's about a good inch or so in height. It really makes a difference between doing that and doing it without it. So I'll go ahead and cut this off for now and come back when I'm ready to start gluing. I guess it's time too for a little bit of truth and tale, or whatever you want to call it. I actually started this yesterday, and I cut my two sides, and I came out here and I screwed up cutting my wood on the router. So I said, okay, no problem, I got another sheet. So I cut two more pieces out of the second sheet, and once you cut these two pieces out, there's nothing but scrap left over. So I cut those out. And in the meantime, I had a problem that distracted my attention. I'd already had the tongue bit in here from cutting the tongue on the last pieces of wood, so I said, well, instead of cutting the groove first, I'll just cut the tongues first and then cut the grooves and not change the bit twice. Well, I got distracted and got out here, and once I got all set up, I set this up to cut a groove, and I went halfway cutting a groove down across that side, and I was cutting the tongue instead of a groove. So screwed up the third piece of wood. So now I have over there 4 pieces of scrap that'll be good for something. They ain't going to waste, but they're not going to be good for my cabinet. So I guess I'm like anybody else. Maybe I'm worse than others. I mess up from time to time. I get distracted and I don't pay that much attention to what I'm doing, and I just get to hurrying through what I'm doing, and there you are. So this morning I went out and bought 3 more sheets of plywood and come back in and cut my sides and made sure that I cut them correctly this time. So there we are, a little bit of bearing my heart to you. Just so you'll know, I'm just as normal as most anybody, probably more normal than some. But, all right, that's enough of this garbage. I'm going to pause the film, and when I'm set up to start doing the gluing out here, we'll come back and film gluing up and putting the sides on this face frame. So for now, we'll talk to you later. So I'm back. Okay. As the old saying goes, you never have enough clamps. And because I don't have enough clamps, I've got to let this one side glue up before I put the other side on. I'm going to take my camera and move over here, different angle. And show you something that I'm doing here that I didn't do on the other. I've got a 90-degree clamped, tri-square clamped here to make sure that this sidewall stays at a 90-degree angle. That was a problem I did encounter with my other cabinet and caused me a little bit of grief. So hopefully this will offset that. Now I'm using this Tight Bond 3 glue here, so it sets up pretty quick. Half an hour or so I can come out here and unclamp all this and clamp the other side in. And I'll probably film, record me doing that more so than me doing it and then showing you what I did. But that's it for now. We'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back now. The one side is glued up sufficient enough to where I can, dried up sufficient enough to where I can start putting glue in on this second side here. So here we go. Just run this glue down this groove that I've cut in here. And a little bit on the outside to help seal this edge of the wood. Okay. Take a little paper here and wipe off my glue spout so it don't mess up. Alright, let's get this piece in. This is a pretty tight fit, so get my little tight fit persuader out here. And pop down on the bottom. Alright, pop down on the bottom, so let's start this over again. Okay, we'll pull that in with clamps. First thing I want to do before I put the other clamps on is clamp this 90-degree up here. Make sure that we are at 90 degrees. Okay, now I can start here on the bottom and work my way up. that looks like. Looks pretty good from this angle. Yeah. Okay, everything is pulled up snug and tight. This being in here, we'll keep this at 90 degrees. It's 90 degrees on the top. Same sheet of wood should be 90 degrees on the bottom. No need to put one on the bottom. That ought to hold it. And there I sit. Let it sit for 30 minutes or so. Then I've got to cut some more sheets. The top and the bottom, need to cut those, which after this is dried up, I'll cut those out. And we'll be putting those in next. They'll go in the bottom grooves and the top grooves and the side grooves. Put tongues all the way around. Tongues all the way around on the bottom. Glue it all the way around. And when I put those in, it'll be solid. It's not going anywhere, just like the other box. Only problem is it's going to be so much bigger by the time I get it built. I don't know how in the world I'm going to be lifting it, but I guess my right-hand man will just have to learn to lift more weight, won't she? Yeah, that's going to happen. Okay, so we'll pause for now. And as soon as I get these other pieces cut, we'll be back with you. All right, I'm back again. I got these two sides glued in. Off camera, I cut my top and bottom shelf, cut all my grooves and tongues in it off camera. I was going to show me cutting the tongues in those shelves, but about the time I started doing that, I had the garage door up, a little cooler in here, and the local lawnmower people decided to show up, and all you'd have heard with the garage door up or with it down, them mowing the lawn. So I went ahead and cut that off camera, got it ready to go. It's laying over here. What I'm going to do is start gluing up this side, these tongues here, or these grooves I should say, where the tongues go, and get glue in those. Get a good bead of glue in here, both sides. Okay. Now, bring this one shelf in, get it ready to go. You'll notice a couple of things. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I cut this groove in the bottom of the top of the cabinet, basically the top shelf or the top of the cabinet. It's not a shelf, it's actually the top of the cabinet. So when I put my 4-inch brace in there, that's where it'll go up in there. I also, I don't know, you probably can't see it on camera, but I flush trim back about 5.5, 6 inches here on both ends. So it'll meet this groove that I got on the bottom that doesn't go all the way to the side. So now's the time to try to get it all put in there. So here we go. Wish me luck. That didn't sound good, did it? Put some clamps on that puppy. Some long clamps here. Get off of there. These, of course, aren't long enough to reach, so I'll use a combination of long and short clamps. I say I will. I have my right hand man here now to help me, so I'll do this by myself. Maybe. Let's pull that in good. Let's see if I can pull that in from the other side now. Ah, here comes my helper. Come on. You're going to be famous. Come on. I'm filming. Come on. I need your help. Don't be shy. This is my right hand man I've been telling you about. My wife Martha. She don't like to be on camera, but it's okay. She'll make it.
I got all dressed up for this.
Yeah, you did. You look as pretty as ever. Down on the bottom. About the middle there. Hold that. Got it? Okay, that's got that. That's in there good. So let's go ahead and put the other one in. Let me get the glue. I had a glue bottle there somewhere. Oh, it's up there by you. Yeah, it's there. Just couldn't see it. Slow down.
I used to.
Get a close up.
Ah, see.
I told you I had that in these parts, but get it. That back far enough wood. That's not down in there. See, that's not down in there for some reason. It acts like it's being held out back. Sitting down in there. Well, let me pull it out. Jeez. Alright, those two ends are glued up now. My camera mysteriously shut itself off for some reason. I don't know why, but we got it glued up. That's the basic box. I'm going to let this sit, let it glue and dry for a while, and I'll come back out in an hour or so and take the clamps off and figure out where I'm going to set this in the garage so I can get my car in. But anyhow, I couldn't have done it without my right-hand man over here, Miss Martha. So thank you much, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. I guess I'll just go ahead and end this video, because when I come back out and set it up, I don't guess you need to see all that where I take the clamps off of it. So for now, after a rather long day for me, this is the DIY Woodworker signing off. We'll talk to you later.